It's Jeff. I can't say this enough, but this theater nerd absolutely loves New York City. In my last video, we went and saw Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, and now I'm about to see a show that was the highlight of my entire trip, and possibly the best show I've ever seen.
We're at show number 2. And gang, this one I'm going in very blind. This wasn't on my radar, but the word of mouth on the street is insane. But it's reminding me a lot of when I saw MJ, because I saw MJ just after it opened, and everyone kept saying Tony Award. So I bought a ticket, the show blew me away, and 3 or 4 years later, it's like still going very strong on Broadway. This show just had its opening. Tickets are getting harder and harder to get. Thankfully, I got one at the TKTS. It's not going to be the best seats, but it's a seat. And tonight, we are seeing Darren Criss and Helen J. Scene and maybe Happy Ending. So, going into the show as blind as possible. Anytime I've been flicking through social media and something about the show pops up, I've just been skipping it. For all I know, it's about 2 robots that fall in love. Some of the YouTubers I follow are saying this is the best show on Broadway currently, which is a huge statement because there's some amazing shows out. So we're gonna have them scan our ticket. We're gonna hop into the Belasco Theatre, which I've never been into, and we're gonna see how this show is.
Set in Seoul, Korea, Maybe Happy Ending is a very human musical about 2 retired helper bots that form a connection through a series of events. Created by Will Arson and Hugh Park, this is an original show with an original script and original music. It is not based on any film, book, or franchise, which is a rarity in the Broadway industry. Maybe Happy Ending had its premiere in Seoul, Korea in 2016 and became a success. The show then moved to Atlanta, Georgia in 2020, where it workshopped for its Broadway premiere. Directed by Michael Arden, Maybe Happy Ending officially opened on Broadway November 12, 2024.
And here's my ticket for the night. It costs $82.50. And I am orchestra off to the side. Maybe Happy Ending.
Once I got inside the theater, I beelined it to the merchandise. Here's what they had to offer, which is your very typical show merch. T-shirts, tote bags, hats. They did have some cool pop sockets and phone chargers, which makes sense once you see the show. And here's a list of the prices. And you know I got my magnet.
Alright, here is my view. And gang, welcome to the Belasco Theatre. Look at that ceiling. Oh my gosh, okay. If there's an intermission, we're going to explore. Look at that. Boom. We already have someone out there.
I keep mispronouncing the name of this theater. It is the Belasco Theatre. And gang, it is small, intimate, and drop-dead gorgeous. That's all Tiffany stained glass in the lighting fixtures. But this show is just a 1-act show, so now let's go to the curtain call.
So I just got out of Maybe Happy Ending. I am a crying mess from seeing that show. Oh my gosh. If there's ever such a thing as a perfect show, this would be it. Holy cow. So Darren Criss plays a helper bot named Oliver, and Helen J. Sheen plays a helper bot named Claire. Well, Claire's power source just stopped working, so she has to rely on Oliver's to help her out, and the 2 of them embark on a journey to try to find Oliver's owner. A love story pursues. There's a lot of surprises to it, and the whole thing is underscored through jazz. The set in this show is probably one of the most technical sets I've ever seen on stage, but the beauty of this is that the plot overpowered how incredible that set was. The plot overpowered how incredible the music was. It was so story-driven with some incredible scenic, this amazing love story that you didn't really even realize you needed to know. So I have been following this show since it came on Broadway, and through its previews, ticket sales have been horrible, to the point that if word of mouth did not promote this show or good reviews, this show was pretty much just going to be a very, very short run. But it had its opening night maybe a week ago, if not shorter than that. The New York Times put it as the best show of the entire season. Word of mouth was spreading. Whenever I talked to my theater people here in New York, everyone just kept talking about that show. And let me tell you, pretty soon you're not going to be able to get a ticket to it. It was spectacular. So I'm going to be calling a couple of my friends and flat out telling them that they need to make a trip to New York just to see that show. It was a beautiful one act. The show was about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 40. Only 4 performers. And when the orchestra gets revealed in the show, you are going to be crying. Oh my goodness. It was just so well done. So you had an idea of where I was sitting in the theater. I'm going to tell you right now, my view was very obstructed. I did not miss any of the plot whatsoever, but there was a lot of moments in there that you just didn't see the performers, or you didn't see the cool stuff that was happening on the stage. So there's definitely a sweet spot for this show. You need to be centered. You really need to be centered. But if you're not able to get that center seat, you're still going to thoroughly enjoy that show. There was so much scene work that happened between the 2 main characters. You truly believed they were robots with emotions, which is absolutely crazy. So I think I gushed about this show enough. Gang, it's worth the trip to New York just to see maybe happy ending. Go see it. Oh my gosh, please go see it. It's phenomenal, and I have to say, it's a perfect show. That was only the second show of the trip. Let's see if something else can top it. So, till then, I'll see you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe, and bye.
And here I am standing in a long line for some amazing New York City street food. Maybe Happy Ending is hands down one of the best, if not the best, show I've ever seen in my entire life. I was actually thinking about making another trip to New York City just to see the show again. I truly hope this show sweeps the Tony Awards, but this is just my opinion. If you have seen Maybe Happy Ending, I would love to know what your thoughts of this show are. But this is only the beginning of the trip, and I will see you at the next show.